Hey guys, how you doing? Doc's Airsoft here, and today I'm just going to be giving you a really quick overview of the Secutor Arms Gladius 17. So I'm not going to stay too long on the box. It's a box, we've all seen one before. This is the box, however you get an operator here holding the Gladius, get the Gladius 17, and you do get the Secutor Arms logo. Other than that, that's it. So there you go, that's the box. Now, this is how your pistol comes packaged. Packaged really nicely in a nice protective foam, with the gun, a magazine, and a spare seal for the magazine. I'll explain what the spare seal is for in just a minute. So, go and pull these out, and I'm going to show you the pistol. Now, this is the pistol. I got mine done in a grey lower, as you can see there. So getting into it, the magazine. Magazine, it is CO2. The base of the magazine here is stippled. I don't really see the point in stippling the bottom of a magazine, but however, to get CO2 in, you pull down on the spring, push that off, there it is. Now, a few you might be thinking that looks very similar, and you'd be right. The pistol is actually based off an APS design. It's the ACP, I believe they are referred to as, to get around the G series kind of trademark embargo. So it's a G series style pistol. So magazine clicks in very nice, it's no wobbler, it's not going to pull out. Magazine release, very nice, it's an extended magazine release. See, so match style magazine release. Magazine drops freely, 28 BBs capacity, and you get about 3 magazines per fill of CO2. So very standard. Feed lip is very similar to TM, as far as I know, and a couple of other brands, but TM is the one that sticks out in my mind. I have a TM magazine here. It's going to show you the compatibility. So you see TM magazine. Sits in there very nice. Again, no tug, no move. And I will fire. But I will just mention that this gun is designed to work off CO2. It can work on green gas, and you get about a fill of gas, you get about magazine and a half, maybe 2 magazines. So efficiency, it's okay still, but you just don't get the same kick you do as off the CO2. Now, onto the gun itself. There's stippling there in the lower, you can see where the logo used to be now. But that's a stippling job done from the factory, it's not bad. It does need to be touched up in a few areas. But for the large part, it gets by. There's no major gripes with it. Magazine well, standard Glock, not changed in any way, just your standard G series style magazine well. Bottom of the trigger guard and the front stippled, whatever way you grip the pistol. So no matter which way you hold it, you're going to have stippling, and it's done on both sides, so left and right handed users can make use of the stippling. It's very nice. Now onto the trigger. Trigger is very standard, there's no kind of mush to it, breaks very nicely. So that's that. Now, one of my gripes with it is the safety and the placement. The safety is on the trigger, which I'm not a big fan of. Real Glocks don't have safeties and they get on just fine, so I don't think this really needs a safety. But that could be down to trademarks and copyright laws and all that. So give them pass on that. It doesn't get in the way, it doesn't engage when you're firing for anything. It's fine, it's a safety, that's it. Magazine lock, the slide lock, apologies, works perfect. No gripes there. Very snappy. Now, when you are racking the pistol for your first shot, it can get a bit stuck, but when firing hasn't come up as an issue, it's just a bit stiff to push back for the first maybe about 30%, and then it's fine the rest of the way. But that happens with a few brands, so nothing much to really worry yourself about, to be honest. The barrel is threaded for 14mm counterclockwise. So as you can see here, the threading, and it does come with a very nice thread protector, which is smaller on one side, so it can only go onto the pistol one way. Plain and simple. I'm going to leave that aside. Get a standard You get a standard Picatinny rail underneath for the mounting of flashlights or whatever you see fit yourself, foregrips, as I've seen some people do, and that kind of thing. Moving on to the slide itself here. The slide is fairly different from most G series pistols. As you can see, this is a 17, but it's cut at the top like an 18, and it's got these two side lightning cuts. Now, I don't know in what way do they affect the pistol shooting or the speed of the reset. The time it takes from the slide to first move back until it's ready for another shot. I can't really see it affecting it that much on an airsoft gun. Maybe it does, maybe you guys will correct me. But the slide, nice slide, it is metal. Now, probably aluminium, so it's very lightweight metal. So don't expect to be throwing this against walls and it bouncing off and keeping on shooting. It will survive drops, however. So you see, the only trademarks on the slide itself is the standard 6mm and a serial number. But that's about it. I'm not sure if the serial number is unique. I know some people look after that, but I'm not 100% if they are unique. Now, on the barrel itself, you do have the Secutor Arms logo again, the helmet, and you have a Gladius, which I thought was a really nice touch, seeing how it is a Gladius 17. So you get the Gladius there. I think adds a nice touch. It's subtle, but you know it's there. Looks nice. Just completes the look of the pistol. It's a fancy Glock, essentially. Onto the sights. Now, on the sights, you notice here, unlike most Glocks, there's actually a notch right here. That is so you can move your rear sight up just there. A lot of people will be wondering, why would you bother doing that? The sight is fine where it is. Is because if you see these two very small holes here, this gun is ready to accept an or more. So you don't have to go out and buy a guard or a more cut slide, or you don't have to buy any upgrades or buy a dovetail mount for the rear sight. You can just mount an or more out of the box, which I think is an absolutely fantastic idea, and I don't know why it's taken so long for a manufacturer to come out with this idea. I'm really digging it. Just means that you don't have to go buying any extra parts. You just have to have, if you have an or more at home, you can just use that. But it's very hard to find a list of or mores that are compatible with the Gladius. I don't have one myself. I'll be picking one up now in the next while. But as far as I know, the Element and Emerson, I believe it is, or mores can fit. It's to do with the width here of the screws. So your best bet is actually probably message Secutor Arms themselves. They have a Facebook page. Message them and just see if they have a list of compatible or mores. I sent a message. I didn't get a response from themselves yet, but that's beside the point. They're probably busy enough with sales and everything like that, so I can understand that. Now, one more thing to mention about the sights. I don't think this will pick it up now. I think it's too bright. But they are glow in the dark. There's a slight glow off them. Nice, I think, nothing too noticeable. Again, it's not going to be like a sun in your pocket or anything like that, but they are viable. So that's the pistol itself. Now, just a few more things to note really quickly. This would be a good bit fatter than most other G series style pistols out in the market at the moment. For example, here I have my Kydex AOR1 holster, and if you just insert it in, and see it doesn't go in, it actually splits it open. I had to take my screws off. They were set for TM, but screws had to come off because the pistol actually wouldn't fit, but that's no big deal. Just have to get a little bit longer screws, but these cable ties will do just for the moment. But it's a bit fatter than most other Glocks. That's one part just to mention, just to make sure you are aware of. So if you do have any pistol holsters that will fit your TM Glock just about, this won't fit. It's too big. So you have to, best bet is probably a Kydex holster or a universal holster. I don't know the compatibility with the Nuprol series holsters, but I'd say your best bet is to go Kydex. It just gives a better fit to the pistol, and you do have a lanyard mount here, so just in case, I would say latch on lanyard, and you're good to go. Your pistol will be safe enough then. So my thoughts on the pistol itself. The range coming off the pistol now is very good. I had to put a couple of 100 rounds through it for the hop to set when I first fired the pistol. The shots were lifting, which wasn't fantastic. I was using .25s and the pistol seemed to just want to lift the BBs, but as I got in, it's starting to level off. The hop is backed all the way off, but there's still a bit of rise in it. So I don't know if that's just my model, but that'll be something I'll have to address myself. The inner barrel is a 603, so it's just standard bore, which is fine. It does the job. You don't need anything else. Type bores, in my mind, not really worth the money. Even barrels, you want to upgrade to a better quality barrel, by all means go ahead. It is a APS pistol, essentially. We just fancied up, so anything that would fit an APS ACP will most likely fit this, and probably the same going to TM. I'll have to do an update video on this in the future just to let you know what is and isn't compatible. The chrono results, when I got mine, there was a sticker here saying, you know, the power less than 1 joule of energy, which seems to hold up about true. On a fresh bulb of CO2, I was looking at 330 feet per second, 330. Dropping off down, and then seemed to average out about 315 after the first about 10 or 15 shots, until the bulb ran dry. It seems to get most of the BBs out before it starts barely cycling. So it's a very good little pistol now, I have to say. I really do like it. You know, this is coming from someone who used 1911s for a long time. This, as a Glock goes, it's a very nice Glock. It is a Glock at the end of the day, but as far as I'm concerned, it's one of the nicer ones. It's ready to be all Gucci'd up for you. You know, you don't have to go buy new slides, so you can mount your Aura More, you can mount your X300, and you can mount your Osprey suppressor straight off the bat, and it'll be a gorgeous gun. I will do an update now in a couple of months once I have all the remedies fixed, and I have a list of Aura Mores that will fit. So, just a quick overthought. For €200, you're getting a decent pistol with good kick, and the range is very, very good. But as I said, just a few bits to watch out for. Just the size and compatibility with holsters and other tactical equipment. And just keep an eye on the mags. These have been known to leak, which is why they did include this extra O-ring. The O-ring actually fits on the threading of the cap for the magazine. So you do have a spare one just in case it blows out, because it happens from time to time. If you don't have the CO2 completely empty when you open that, it will blow your CO2 out. Your O-ring out. So it's just something to be extremely, extremely careful about. So guys, want to pick it up. Secutor Arms does have a list of distributors, and you will find them in the pistol section of most airsoft retailers out there at the moment. They're very new on the market, but as far as I go, after a couple of games with it, I think it's a wonderful little pistol. It'll be one that'll be staying in my collection and probably be used with a few kits. Right guys, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed. Hope you found some of this helpful. If you have any more questions, lads, just leave a comment down below and I will do my best to answer all the questions as I can. Stocks Airsoft, thank you very much for watching. Have a lovely day guys, and I'll see you next time.